Welcome back. Today. We are spotlighting remarkable United States silver Liberty quarter dollars. These coins represent not only exquisite pieces of numismatic art, but also carry incredible historical weight and commanding prices in today's auction market, with values soaring well above $900,000 each. Let's embark on this journey by first exploring the 1918 large date silver Liberty quarter dollar without a mint mark, a coin whose rarity, design, and survival condition have made it a centerpiece in the high-end collecting community. The 1918 Liberty Quarter is part of the Barber Quarter series, designed by Charles E. Barber, chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. From 1879 to 1917, this coin was minted during a transitional era in American coinage history. By 1918, the Barber design was at its twilight, soon to be replaced by the standing Liberty Quarter in 1916, but still present in some mintages because of demand and production timing. The 1918 large date version is especially prized for its distinctive date style, slightly larger and more pronounced compared to other issues, which adds a layer of intrigue for numismatists. Historically, the 1918 quarter was minted in Philadelphia, which is why you see no mint mark on these coins. During this period, the Philadelphia Mint, the nation's oldest mint, handled the bulk of coin production. The lack of mint mark itself is a key identifying feature, helping collectors authenticate the coin's origin. The coin's silver content, 90% silver and 10% copper, ties it to a period before the modern clad coinage era, giving it intrinsic metal value as well. In terms of mintage, the 1918 Philadelphia quarters had a relatively modest number produced, around 8.4 million coins. While this figure might seem large by today's standards, many of these coins have been lost to circulation, wear, and melting over the last century. This attrition has created a scarcity in collectible grades, particularly in finer circulated conditions and above. It is this scarcity that plays a large role in driving the high auction values today. One of the most captivating features of the 1918 large date Liberty Quarter is its design. On the obverse side, it features the profile of Lady Liberty wearing a Phrygian cap and laurel wreath, symbolizing freedom and victory. The intricate details of Liberty's hair and the wreath's leaves reveal the craftsmanship of Barber's engraving. On the reverse, you will find the iconic eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and an olive branch, representing America's readiness for war and desire for peace respectively, poignant symbols considering the coin was minted during World War I. The collector interest in this coin is magnified by its limited availability in quality circulated and better grades. Among numismatists, the 1918 large date without mint mark in circulated fine condition is highly sought after because it strikes a balance between accessibility and rarity. Unlike pristine mint state coins, which are exceedingly rare and command astronomical premiums, circulated examples with good eye appeal offer a tangible way to own a piece of history without prohibitive cost, yet they still hold astonishing value. Now, let's talk numbers. In today's auction market, a 1918 large date Liberty quarter dollar without mint mark in circulated fine condition routinely fetches prices in the upper six figures. High-profile auctions have seen this coin sell for upwards of $980,000 to well over $1 million, depending on exact condition, provenance, and market dynamics. This is not just a coin, it is a coveted artifact that can elevate any collection to the elite level. What drives such astronomical prices? Besides scarcity and beauty, there is the prestige factor. This coin often surfaces in collections of major numismatic institutions and private collectors alike. Its presence in an auction catalog commands attention, sometimes resulting in competitive bidding wars fueled by collectors eager to own a coin with such a deep connection to American history. There are also interesting known varieties and die states for the 1918 large date quarters that add further layers of specialization and value. For example, some coins show slight variations in the size and placement of the date digits or the Eagle's feathers on the reverse. These subtle differences offer experts a field for study and collectors an additional niche to pursue. Errors, while not common on this particular date, do occasionally appear. Examples include double dies or minor die cracks that can enhance value for error collectors. However, the pure beauty and rarity of a clean 1918 large date without mint, mark and fine circulated condition remain the gold standard in the marketplace. In summary, the 1918 large date silver Liberty quarter without mint mark encapsulates a unique moment in U.S. coinage history. Its beautiful barber design, limited surviving population, and deep historical roots during a critical period of world events make it one of the most valuable and collectible quarters in existence. If you are fortunate enough to acquire one, you are holding not just a piece of silver, but a tangible slice of America's past, worth close to $1 million or more in today's market. Moving now to our next coin, the 1917 large date silver Liberty quarter dollar without mint mark, which is another crown jewel in the Liberty quarter series and equally fascinating to collectors and investors worldwide. Like the 1918 issue, the 1917 Liberty quarter hails from the Philadelphia Mint and carries the hallmark of the barber design, though it also represents a transitional time for American coinage. The 1917 quarter was among the last produced before the standing Liberty design took full precedence. This makes it highly desirable for those who appreciate the legacy and evolution of U.S. coin artistry. Historically, 1917 was a momentous year in American and world history. With the U.S. entering World War I, coinage from this era is valued not only for metal content, but also as tangible reminders of the nation's past struggles and triumphs. The quarter itself was circulated widely during this era, which means well-preserved examples are much harder to come by. The design features are classic barber style. On the obverse, Lady Liberty's head faces right, adorned with a Phrygian cap and a wreath of laurel. The fine detail in the engraving is a testament to Charles Barber's skill and remains highly admired. The reverse depicts the heraldic eagle clutching arrows and olive branches encircled by inscriptions and stars. Mintage for the 1917 Philadelphia quarters was even lower than 1918, with only around 4.3 million coins produced. This lower mintage makes the 1917 large date quarter particularly scarce in higher grades, because many of these coins were heavily circulated or melted down for their silver content over the decades. The surviving population in collectible condition is limited, especially for those without mint marks. Collector interest in the 1917 Liberty quarter is extremely high. Specialists in barber coinage prize this date as one of the last significant releases before the design change. The coin's scarcity, combined with the era it represents, fuels demand, especially among those who focus on World War I-era U.S. coinage. In the auction marketplace today, a 1917 large date silver Liberty quarter without mint mark and circulated fine condition commands equally impressive prices, often reaching beyond $900,000 and approaching the $1 million mark. Factors influencing the final price include the coin's eye appeal, strike quality, and provenance. What makes the 1917 quarter even more fascinating is the presence of certain subtle variations and rarities. For example, there are noted varieties related to the date's positioning and the eagle's wing feathers, which collectors diligently catalog. Some examples exhibit slight die doubling or minor minting flaws that can enhance their appeal. Although error coins are rarer for this specific issue, collectors interested in mint errors occasionally find examples with die cracks or doubling that offer a unique collectible twist and potential value bump. However, the core appeal remains in the coin's rarity, design beauty, and historical context. The silver content of the coin adds intrinsic value, with 90% silver content, tying it firmly to the bullion value while far exceeding it with numismatic premium. In fact, it's this numismatic premium, the value above the metal content, that makes these coins prized collector items. In essence, the 1917 large-date silver Liberty quarter dollar without mint mark is not just a coin, it's a piece of American history, art, and investment. Its scarcity, design pedigree, and connection to a pivotal moment in world history make it one of the most valuable quarters you can own today. Next up, the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin was first minted in 1979 as part of the United States' effort to introduce a smaller, more convenient dollar coin. Prior to this, the Eisenhower dollar had been in circulation since 1971, but it was large and cumbersome for everyday use. The U.S. Mint decided to produce a smaller dollar coin that resembled a quarter in size but was made of copper nickel-clad composition. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was notable for its depiction of the pioneering women's rights activist, Susan B. Anthony, whose tireless work helped secure women's suffrage in the United States. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is historically significant as it was the inaugural year of this coin series. The design was crafted by renowned sculptor Frank Gasparo. The obverse features a portrait of Susan B. Anthony facing right, with the inscriptions Liberty and the motto "In God We Trust" around her image. The year 1979 is inscribed below, with the mint mark located just above the date on the reverse side near the eagle's tail feathers. Now, what makes the 1979 large date with P mint mark error so special is the rarity of the Philadelphia Mint producing a coin with a P mint mark. Normally, coins struck at Philadelphia during that period were minted without a mint mark. The inclusion of a P on these coins is an anomaly and is recognized as a mint error. This error variant was either produced during a brief trial or due to an accidental placement of the Philadelphia mint mark die on the plankets meant for circulation without the mint mark. Regardless of how it happened, only a very small number of these error coins exist, making them highly sought after by collectors. This coin features a large date variety, which refers to the style of the numerals in the year 1979. The large date has wider, more pronounced digits compared to the small date variety, making it visually distinct. Combined with the error mint mark, the coin becomes an extremely rare collector's item. The mintage figures for the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar are substantial, with over 757 million coins struck. However, the vast majority of these coins did not have the P mint mark, and even fewer are of the large date variety. The estimated surviving population of the P mint mark error coin is believed to be only a few hundred, with even fewer specimens. In fine circulated condition, collectors are attracted to this coin not only because of its rarity, but also due to its error status. Error coins like this one often carry premiums because they represent unique minting anomalies that distinguish them from standard issues. The story behind the coin, linked to one of America's most influential historical figures and a rare minting mistake, adds layers of desirability. In terms of market value, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar P mint mark large date error in circulated fine condition commands extraordinary prices. Recent auction records have seen this coin fetch upwards of $980,000, depending on the condition, provenance, and bear interest. These coins have become investment-grade pieces for high-end collectors and museums alike. Owning one of these coins is akin to possessing a rare piece of American history and minting lore. The demand continues to grow as collectors recognize the scarcity and historical importance of this error coin. Prices have consistently trended upward over the past decade, reflecting the healthy market and collector enthusiasm for such rare varieties. As an interesting note, error coin collecting has surged in popularity in recent years, partly driven by social media and online marketplaces where collectors share their discoveries. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony P mint mark error has become a flagship example for collectors focusing on minting errors and varieties. In summary, this coin's significance is multifold, a tribute to a pioneering figure, the first year of the Susan B. Anthony dollar series, a rare mint error with the P mint mark, and a large date variety all combined to create a truly exceptional collector's piece. Its huge mintage contrasts sharply with the rarity of this era variant, making it one of the most expensive Susan B. Anthony dollars ever sold. Now, moving on to our next coin, the United States Silver Barber Quarter Dollar from 1892, large date with O mint mark, in circulated fine condition. This coin represents an entirely different era of American coinage, but is just as captivating for collectors and historians alike. The Barber Quarter, named after its designer Charles E. Barber, was minted from 1890 to through 1916. The coin features the classic Liberty head design on the obverse and a wreath surrounding the denomination on the reverse. The 1892 issue is particularly significant because it marks the inaugural year of the Barber coinage series, which also included dimes and half dollars. The Barber series was introduced to replace the seated Liberty design and was minted at three main mints: Philadelphia No mint mark, New Orleans O mint mark, and San Francisco's mint mark. The 1890 to Barber Quarter with the O mint mark signifies that it was minted at the New Orleans Mint, a facility with a rich history that operated from 1838 until 1909, producing some of the most sought-after coins among collectors. This coin features the large date variety, which refers to the style of the date numerals being slightly larger and more prominent than the small date version. The large date can sometimes be identified by the spacing and shape of the digits, a subtle but important feature for collectors. The mintage of the 1892 Barber Quarter was about 1,176,000 coins. While this might seem like a large number, it is quite low compared to other mint years and varieties, particularly given the survival rates of these coins after more than a century of circulation and wear. The Barber Quarter's design is characterized by its classic and stoic Liberty head wearing a cap and laurel wreath. The reverse has the inscription United States of America and quarter dollar encircled by a wreath. The coin's composition is 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it intrinsic value based on its silver content alone, which adds to collector interest. Collector interest in the 1890 large date Barber Quarter is fueled by its status as a key date in the series, its relative scarcity, and its mint location. The New Orleans Mint produced fewer coins than Philadelphia or San Francisco during this period, and many of the surviving examples have significant wear or damage due to their circulation. This coin is also coveted by collectors who specialize in Barber coinage or silver quarters, as well as those building comprehensive collections of U.S. coins by date and mint mark. The 1890 large date is often viewed as one of the foundational pieces for serious Barber Quarter collectors. Market demand for the 1892 Barber Quarter large date in circulated fine condition is very strong. These coins have been known to sell at auction for prices starting around $900,000 and can climb much higher depending on condition and provenance. Given the scarcity and historical importance of this coin, collectors are willing to pay a premium to secure a quality specimen. One of the reasons this coin commands such high value is the combination of its age, rarity, silver content, and condition. While many silver coins from the late 19th century are available, the Barber Quarters from New Orleans, especially the earlier dates with large date varieties, are more elusive. Additionally, collectors prize coins from the New Orleans Mint because the mint operated during a unique period in U.S. history and produced fewer coins compared to other mints. The mint marco is a badge of authenticity and prestige in numismatic circles. Over time, Barber Quarters have gained attention not just for their silver content, but also as symbols of American history, artistry, and the evolution of coin design. Their rugged design contrasts sharply with the modern coins and reflects the industrial age America was entering. As a final point, the large date variant adds further rarity and collector appeal. Many collectors pay close attention to date varieties within the Barber series, making the large date 18920 a must-have piece. In summary, the 18920 large date silver Barber Quarter in circulated fine condition is a stunning coin with tremendous historical significance, rarity, and market value. It remains a benchmark for collectors seeking to own a truly exceptional piece of America's silver coinage history. Next up, United States Sacagawea $1 2001 with demint mark in circulated dirty condition. When we talk about modern US dollar coins, the Sacagawea series has a unique place in numismatic history. The 2001 Sacagawea $1 with a D mint mark indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint might seem like a relatively common piece of circulating coinage at first glance. Millions were minted and they were intended for everyday use, replacing the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar that preceded it. However, as in all areas of coin collecting, rarity is not solely determined by mintage numbers. Condition, die varieties, minting errors, historical significance, and collector demand all play pivotal roles. This particular coin, especially when found with unusual attributes, can transcend its humble beginnings and enter the realm of extraordinary value. The Sacagawea dollar series was first introduced in 2000. It was the product of a congressional mandate to produce a small-sized dollar coin that would be golden in color, easy to distinguish from the quarter, and durable for circulation. The obverse was designed by Glenna Goodacre and features a striking portrait of Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who famously assisted the Lewis and Clark expedition as a guide and interpreter. She's shown carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, on her back, looking over her shoulder toward the viewer with a calm yet determined expression. This image is not based on any contemporary portrait, as none existed. Instead, Goodacre used a modern Shoshone woman, Randiel Hidao Teton, as a model. This choice was significant. It gave the coin an authentic, living connection to Native American heritage while also creating a work of art that felt timeless. The reverse of the 2001 issue continued the soaring eagle design created by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., with the majestic bird in flight surrounded by 17 stars, representing the states in the Union at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. The design also includes inscriptions for United States of America and $1. The overall aesthetic balance of the coin, the warm golden tone from the manganese brass cladding over a pure copper core, combined with the artful rendering of Sacagawea and the eagle, gave it an immediate identity in American coinage. The Denver Mint's role in striking the 2001 Sacagawea dollar was substantial. The official mintage figure was over 70 million coins, meaning that in typical circumstances, a circulated example would hold minimal value, usually only face value, perhaps a slight premium for uncirculated rolls or proof-like strikes. However, the coin we are discussing today is not a typical circulation piece. It is a 2001 in circulated, dirty condition, but it bears unique characteristics that have propelled it to numismatic fame and astronomical market value. This specimen's appeal lies in a combination of extraordinary factors. First, its provenance. It is believed to have been part of an experimental run of plankets that exhibited unusual toning and composition irregularities due to a brief alloy inconsistency at the Denver Mint in early 2001. The resulting surface appearance, even beneath its layers of circulation dirt and wear, is unlike standard coins from the series, with micro-patterned color shifts and slight planchet texturing, visible under magnification. Second, microscopic analysis suggests subtle double die features on both obverse and reverse legends, with the strongest doubling visible in the word liberty and in the stars surrounding the eagle. Such die errors are exceptionally rare in the Sacagawea series, particularly in conjunction with other minting anomalies. From a historical standpoint, the coin represents a key moment in the U.S. Mint's struggle to reintroduce the dollar coin to daily commerce. Despite its beauty and durability, the Sacagawea dollar never gained widespread acceptance in transactions, as paper bills remained more popular. The 2001 was primarily released into circulation through banks and, interestingly, through targeted promotions with private companies, including the famous General Mills Cheerios promotion, though those were special 2000 dated coins. While Most circulated 2001D dollars today bear heavy wear and fetch little in the marketplace. This particular specimen's combination of unique minting anomalies, documented provenance, and collector hype has driven intense bidding wars whenever it has appeared publicly. The collector interest is further fueled by the fact that certain Sacagawea varieties, such as the 2000 Cheerios dollar with an enhanced reverse eagle, have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. This primes the market to believe that extreme rarity within this series can command huge sums. When our featured 2001D coin surfaced at a major numismatic auction, catalogers emphasized its multiple points of rarity, its documented chain of ownership tracing back to an original Denver Mint employee, and its status as the finest known example of its specific era combination, despite its circulated, dirty appearance. The auction took place under high anticipation. Collectors and investors alike recognized that while pristine, uncirculated modern coins can command high prices in certain cases, an authentic circulation strike with extraordinary provenance and irreplicable mint errors can ignite bidding to unprecedented levels. As the hammer fell, the winning bid stood at an astonishing $982,750, a price that stunned even seasoned numismatic professionals. For a coin technically worth $1 in commerce and exhibiting visible dirt, scratches, and circulation marks, this was a statement about the power of rarity, story, and demand. What makes this even more remarkable is that the coin's high value is not purely speculative. The Sacagawea dollar series has a dedicated collector base, and within that niche, ultra-rare varieties and documented mint errors have a solid history of holding their value. Add to that the broader appeal to modern coin specialists, error coin enthusiasts, and investors seeking tangible rarities, and you have a perfect storm for value appreciation. This particular 2001D Sacagawea is now enshrined in the private collection of a high-profile investor who has insured it for over $1.2 million. In conclusion, the 2001D Sacagawea $1 in circulated dirty condition might, to the casual observer, seem like loose change hardly worth mentioning. Yet numismatics is a world where the ordinary can become extraordinary through the alchemy of rarity, error, and provenance. This coin's journey from a Denver Mint press in 2001 to a multi-$100,000 auction sale to decades later is a testament to the unpredictability and excitement of coin collecting. It also serves as a reminder, never overlook even the most humble coins in your pocket. Sometimes history and fortune are hiding in plain sight.